Hello, everybody, and thank you for your time for joining our presentation and demonstration. So our presentation today is about accelerating your business transformation based on data and insights, and how our platform Blue Dolphin supports that. So let me start with the presentation. So just a quick introduction of ValueBlue. So ValueBlue was founded as a consultancy firm back in 2011, and during those consultancy days, we delivered a lot of consultancy around enterprise architecture, integration architecture, but also process architecture. And while doing all those projects, we used quite a lot of tools out there to support our consultancy jobs. And we found out, even though they had a lot of features, they were lacking a collaboration aspect, and they were lacking the ease of use, so that a broader amount of people could use an enterprise architecture solution. So that's basically why we launched our own collaboration platform called Blue Dolphin back in 2014. Currently, we have offices in Utrecht and New York, and we just opened another office in Hong Kong as well. We have over 150 Blue Dolphin customers, and we are a new and proud member of the Magic Quadrant of Gartner. So when you look at ValueBlue and Blue Dolphin, the platform that we offer, so we offer a platform is completely SaaS. We were born in the cloud, and we offer a solution both for the CXOs and for the architects. And not only the enterprise architects, but also the domain architects, the solution architects, and process architects. And what we try to achieve with our platform is that we help our customers with planning their transformation, their changes, the small changes, but also the large changes, while collaborating with each other and managing the entire process based on data. So if you look at transformations, I hear them in the previous presentations as well, there are all types of drivers. You have some external drivers, for instance, the changing customer expectations. If you look at the financial services, 10 years ago, you were used to walking into your bank department and doing your banking in a physical store. Nowadays, everything is ran through an app. And that means something also for your internal drivers, because that means that you need more organizational agility that has an influence on your how you think, how you look at your application landscape and to your capabilities. So there are all types of drivers, external, both internal drivers. And looking at those drivers and how you are doing transformation nowadays, and you always start with the planning, the assessing of, okay, what do we need to change? And we need to create those solution blueprints, but we also need to prioritize which projects goes first. And eventually, and that can be in an agile way, you start to build a new solution. So what we did is we interviewed a lot of architects and a lot of CIOs out there. So if you look at it from an architecture perspective, what type of challenges do you see while looking at those drivers and looking at how business transformation is generally done? So what we saw a lot is that one of the most common issues is an accurate insight in the current state. So how is everything interconnected from the strategy, from the business goals, from the capabilities that I have as a company, down to the infrastructure that is supporting everything? How is everything interconnected with each other? But also, while doing those large business transformations, how do I exactly know that I'm spending my right resources in the best possible ways to achieve those goals, to achieve that specific strategy? And also another challenge is, okay, while I'm doing that transformation, how can I monitor, based on data, the progress of that change? So that's what we try to help out with. And how do we do that? So if you look at a business transformation from another level, it all starts with defining your business goals. And what is my strategy? Let's say I'm a retailer. I have 100 physical stores out there, but nowadays everything is moving to online. And my goal is, in the coming 3 years, 40% or 50% of my revenue needs to come out of online. So let's say that is a goal. That means that I have to look at what are my current capabilities as a retail company. What can I do now? And if I know what my current capabilities are, then I need to know how they are supported or realized by the processes that I have. And if I know what type of processes they have, I need to know, okay, how do those processes exactly run? And how is my current application landscape and my data landscape supporting those processes and basically are supporting those capabilities? And if I know the complete insight of my current state, then I can start defining the capabilities of the future state. I need to define, okay, I need an online capability. That will surely mean that I need to change something in my application landscape, in my data landscape, and in my infrastructure landscape. So when you know what my future capabilities should be, then you can start creating those blueprints from the supporting processes, applications, and data. And as an enterprise architecture, you just want to involve just enough architecture to create those principles, those guidelines, and then move in an agile way. You want to move it from the current state to the future state. And then you run all types of projects. And then, of course, when you run those projects, then your processes will be adjusted to support that online capability, and you start executing those projects. So that is basically, in a nutshell, what on a high level, what our platform, Blue Dolphin, can support you with. But of course, how do we do that? Well, if you look at Blue Dolphin, we are a completely SaaS online central repository where your business goals are defined, your projects are in here, your processes, your applications, and your data. And of course, that online repository needs to be filled with data. And the way we do it, we have out-of-the-box integrations with, for instance, a ServiceNow and Atlassian. Those are the most common players that we see out there that we integrate with. That is one way to fill the repository. And like I've mentioned before, we started out as a collaboration platform for architecture. So collaboration is a very important aspect in our platform. So we can create all types of questionnaires, forms that you can send out to the responsible people, for instance, from a process perspective or from an application perspective. So they can have an easy way to help you fill that repository with valuable data, and they get a certain insight back. So let's say you have all that data now in our central repository. Then, of course, the next step is to visualize the data. And with visualizing the data, we support fully architecture models. So in the core, we support Archimate, but we also fully support business process management, BPMN. And within our platform, those two technologies are completely integrated with each other, and that will give you a unique insight. So how IT is interconnected with your processes and how your architecture models are fully supporting the capabilities, your strategy, and your goals. Next to that, we also fully integrate data modeling into our platform. Of course, these visualizations are very neat for architects, for the more technical people. We could do all types of heat mapping as well. Next to that, we also want to support the business in their transformation and making the right decisions. So for that, we fully support also reporting and dashboarding, and we integrate with the most common BI solutions out there, like Power BI, ClickSense, and Tableau. So when you look at, okay, what does Blue Dolphin do? So we support you with your agile business transformation from the start till the end. Business process management, application portfolio management to fully support your application management and your fully application lifecycle management, data management, and last but not least, project portfolio architecture. So what we see is that we can make processes at least 30% more lean and efficient. We can create unique insights in and manage your data assets. We can manage your complete application landscape, and we can do a lot of quick impact analysis from the infrastructure up to your processes and your capabilities. So in short, and then I will move on, my colleague Tom, our chief evangelist, will take it on and will show you our platform. So we can help you with speeding up your transformations, gaining transformation control with the right amount of governance as well, but also impact analysis. And we can definitely help you with maximizing your business impact. And now I would like to hand it over to Tom, who will actually show you the platform.
Thank you, Paolo. Let me share my screen. So here we are, Dolphin. So what we've done here is I'll show you around some of the highlights of Blue Dolphin. Obviously, it's a SaaS application, runs in the browser. The model that Paolo showed you, the business transformation model. In this case, we've kind of pivoted this model just to give you some insights on how we implement the Agile business transformation model. And where we start off is with a couple of highlights, like directing the business, where you create your mission, vision, your goals, principles, and policies. You do analysis on your position as a company. And eventually, like Paolo said, that will evolve into a business capability model. So this is a way to visualize a business capability. Here we have basically a chain of capabilities that are responsible for the most important workings of the organization. When you have established your capability model as a current state, you obviously want to move this towards a future state model, and that you also need to have some insights in the current state architecture. Current state architecture basically consists of a lot of different models and layers. The ones we're focusing on currently in this presentation will be the process architecture, applications, and the data model. Looking at the process architecture, obviously we are using Archimate and BPMN and data modeling in the same platform. This is Archimate level, where we just draw a simple process, steps of processes. From this point on, you can also zoom in towards a BPMN view. So going from architecture to BPMN is seamless and can be done just by zooming in and basically describing your process using business process modeling notation. Going back to applications, which are always important in your architecture because they support your capabilities and processes. You can draw up a map of your current application portfolio. And what is interesting about Blue Dolphin is that all objects in Blue Dolphin can have specific properties. So, for example, this particular application here, there are a couple of tabs with information you can hold for each object. For example, there's some basic information regarding this application. There's information about the organization or for financial information. Any type of information that you want to hold with one of these objects can be set up and changed from inside the application without a lot of configuration work. And what is also interesting is that this information can come from different sources, like Paolo described. It can come from somebody manually entering the information just in here. So enter an application version here. Or it can come from a source, which means that any of these objects can be created from an external source like ServiceNow, like a financial system, basically any source that you can think of we could hook up to Blue Dolphin. And the third way of adding information to Blue Dolphin is by using a guest link. So you can send out invites to people in your organization to enter information on this on the platform, which makes it easy to collaborate and also makes it possible to involve people that are not actually architects, but they are capable of entering information which is interesting in your repository. For example, just having an application admin basically input a list of application functions will just lead to a relationship in this model, this architecture model, without application administrators having to draw up actual architecture visualizations. So you can see that here we have a list of relationships. Obviously in Archimate, objects do have relationships with one another that can be visualized in a diagram. And what we can do with the information on the objects, we can create visualizations. For example, a view of the hosting of all the applications. So for example, I can take a look at all the applications that are run in an external data center by highlighting them, or applications that are run on premises, or the ones that are still running as SaaS, that are running as a SaaS application. You can do the same thing with relationships. You could, for example, plot application functions on top of this. So, for example, here, every color in a box represents a different application function that is mapped to that particular application. This can also be used in reporting, like Paolo mentioned. For example, here is a Power BI dashboard, which was created with data coming from Blue Dolphin, that will allow you to gain some additional insights in your application repository and some of the challenges you might face. Other things we can do is analysis for business risk and business value in an application matrix. So there are several ways for you to visualize the information inside of Blue Dolphin. Now, apart from the more high-level view we have here on the application landscape, you can also dive in by navigating, for example, to a solution architecture. And the solution architecture is mainly a detailed view of the particular application. So by creating these navigations, you can create a high-level and detailed view of your application landscape, or your processes, or any other form of architecture within Blue Dolphin. Also, next to architecture and BPMN, we also have a data modeling functionality. So basically what this does is we have the opportunity to create a logical data dictionary. So that means that you can create your common data model inside of Blue Dolphin and then use those attributes or use those items within a ERD-like data model, which you can then use also to create visualizations and also do analysis on it. For example, hooking those, showing what applications are using what data objects, for example. Once again, with the colors here, you see the data objects and the applications which are used, where they are used in. From a business capability model, going to process architecture, going to application portfolio, going to a data model. There's also technical architecture, obviously. These are basically the highlights of Blue Dolphin. We support both external reporting as internal reporting. And using this, you are able to create your future state capability model and your current state model, and then move towards that model using projects, obviously, just like in here. This is a short demonstration. We have a limited time here. So I think that Jordy will take any questions you might have on this subject.